Today we're going to build a traveling PC. This is the DeepCool CH160, a very interesting PC case that I had lying around for... Oh! I thought you had to order these separately. Oh, this is so cool. Anyway, this is the DeepCool CH160, a very, very small mini ITX case. You see, unboxing took like 20 seconds. So, the CH160 from DeepCool. Now, you already saw the special sauce about this. It has like a carrying handle, which is kind of cool. It's a traveling PC. How cool is that? And those little pieces of Lego over here, they are so that you can build your own like designs in the front and in the top and technically in the bottom, but who the hell sees them? Are they really like included with every case? Because they got me like every color that exists. Anyway, the CH160, a very small case, mini ITX. We have glass on the side and then we have airflow on every other end of this case. I got a ton of components, but I had to make some cuts to somehow make it fit into this here today. First off, a few new things. Like we got the new... I don't even want to pronounce the name. The Intel Core Ultra 5 245K. Yeah, because the old naming scheme wasn't making much sense. With that, we got a new motherboard, the Asus ROG Strix B860i Gaming Wi-Fi. They still got so freakishly long names. Now, for the GPU, I really wanted to do something long, but I couldn't. My Phantom 4080 wouldn't fit, so I had to step it down to my RTX 4060 Pegasus, which is like a single fan card, and it's quite small and not that good, but yeah, for the build it will do. The PC cooler RZ820, a very, very, very good CPU cooler, which is going to be so overpowered for that tiny GPU, for that tiny CPU, but it fits. And then for the power supply, I still wanted to put something from DeepCool in here. So we got the PX850G, and it has the, which is kind of funny now, it has the new 600 watt plug for the GPUs, which this one doesn't need. It has like a regular 8-pin PCIe, so yeah. Unfortunate. So this is going to be a little PC build today before I start working on the review of this little puppy, but I kind of love it already now. It's so cute and so tiny. Let's open it up and see what we can do inside of it. To disassemble it, I guess we are back to very regular screws. Oh, this was easy. Oh, cool. They got like a little symbol which represents a screwdriver to tell you which screws you are supposed to unscrew in order to make installation easier, because we can remove the top panel, which I guess is not necessary, but it will help a lot. Ta-da! Case disassembled. Oh, okay. And we can mount some fans in the top, which we will definitely not do considering the CPU cooler that we are going to use. So yeah, there's that. But other than that, the case is fully disassembled. Here we got the extension for the power supply, which seems fine. And all the front I/O. I guess let's get building and see how easy or not so easy it is in here. Yeah, let's hope for the best. Brand new motherboard. So, half the PC ready. Cute little motherboard. But there is now one. Oh, you know what? We're going to be really smart this time around. I'm going to pre-connect all of the impossible to connect connectors beforehand. That's going to make it a hell of a lot easier later on. And oh cool, DeepCool has like a single plug front connector in the case. That's very useful, especially in this form factor, because believe me, I had mini ITX motherboards that had terrible placements for them. And then getting them all in later is like, oh god, I hate it. Anyway, this goes now here. I will say it's very easy to build inside of this thing. Okay, now for the power supply, it's a both ATX and SFX capable case. As usual with these mini ATX form factors, if you choose to go the ATX route, you will lose a ton of GPU support. Basically it will, because otherwise the case, I think it's like 302 millimeters, where you can stuff it with a GPU, triple slot. And if you use ATX, you will boil that down, because at some point the ATX power supply will hit the GPU space. So you basically limit the GPU to wherever your ATX power supply comes out. Now, considering the tiny 4060 that we're going to use today, I'm not very concerned with that. If I had another GPU, I would of course take a SFX or SFXL power supply. Yeah, that's a tiny GPU. It's a very tiny GPU. Oh god. Oh, it doesn't even have a full 16x slot. Oh, I kind of feel like this build is going to be underwhelming now. I need more different like, GPU designs and form factors and... So the SFX type of power supplies can be mounted, I guess, both this way and this way. This way for max GPU support. But this here is the only orientation that allows ATX power supplies. So it's going to suck air from the front and then exhaust it towards the top, which is perfectly fine. We just need to get that sucker in there. And then we got this little extension cable here, which I'm just going to route in a somewhat intelligent way. There we go, and then it goes out here in the back. Like this. Seems quite easy so far. Now let's just quickly do all the cable routing before we continue, because I can already see once I close this down, it's game over. Okay, with the power supply in, cooler, GPU, and then we are done. It's a very enjoyable build for a morning, I gotta say. Just fitting that 8 heat pipe behemoth in there is now going to be kind of a mission, but we're going to manage that too. I just need to lay it flat, otherwise I won't manage. This is so overpowered. So brutally overpowered. This is kind of cool. You will never see it. So the two RAM sticks fit perfectly in between, let's say, the front fan and the cutout of the heatsink. They are not restricted, they do not touch anything, and the front fan actually sits on top of the 24-pin plug. This thing fits flawlessly. Oh, no, I scratched it a bit, but oh god, this fits like a glove. Oh, great. I'm so proud right now. Oh god, this fits so well. If this would have had like a decent GPU, oh, I would have been so happy with the build today. Oh yeah, and technically, I could fit a fan in here, like a 120 millimeter, maybe even up to 30 millimeter thick, but I just won't. We got so much cooling thanks to this CPU cooler that I just don't see a reason to do that. And there is no way, there is like, this distance is not big, it will just blow it out. It's perfectly fine like that. Now, tiny little GPU. What is this, a dual slot? Yeah, I will need to remove this bracket. There is no way I'm going to get the GPU in otherwise. It is so light. Anyway, there we go. Oh no, that one single PCIe connector, it needs some power, not a lot of it, but everything connected. Now let's close all of these panels. Okay, no routing cables to the back. I won't forget that one again. Whew, mini travel PC. Oh, okay. Yo, this is a bit heavier than I expected. Yeah, let's start this sucker. yeah, this will turn inappropriate fairly quickly. So this is our little travel build over here, and it is way heavier than I expected it to be, but that's not like really on the case, more on the cooler probably. The cooler is like really, really freaking heavy, but the build functions perfectly fine. Maybe let's... Yeah, you can't see anything anyway. So I did a bit of benchmarking, just some temp testing. I did the CPU-Z CPU burner test, and we hit 60 degrees without me changing anything. Everything is on default, and I didn't really need to turn down the fan speed on the cooler because it never reached a point where the fans would ramp up. So yeah, there we are. The thing is like hella quiet. The GPU is not so good, but that's also like a single fan card. It hit up to 73 degrees C in the Formark 1080p, the benchmark test, and I just looped through the benchmarks a few times until we hit that 73, and it didn't go up from there. So yeah, overall it functions perfectly fine. The cooling functions perfectly fine, better than I expected, and the build itself was fairly easy. Now a few hiccups, like I didn't know that you are absolutely not allowed to route any cables to the back, otherwise the back panel will not close. That I didn't know. The top is also kind of restricted. You need to keep all of the cabling in that main section in the middle, otherwise you will just not close anything here. Other than that, I see the appeal. I see the appeal to have like a little traveling case, walk around with it, maybe a SFX power supply to have a decent GPU, and then you got a fairly good build that you can just carry around as you go if you need. I see that to be very, very useful, like especially for me who travels quite a lot with PCs, and I usually just take whatever I have lying around, and then and this would be like a permanent solution that I can carry on. But yeah, and these here are quite funny. Like you can, I guess there is some website where you can show off whatever you've built. And the best I could come up with is hello, so there we are. But for me, very enjoyable build. Like for a Monday morning, I thought this is going to be a hard one, considering SFX, but no, it was fairly easy, fairly enjoyable. I'm quite happy. And now I will start working on the review. So far, I can't come up with anything like really negative, but we will see. I will take it apart a few times, build it back together again. We'll see if this really holds up to my expectations. But yeah, for today, this is going to be it. If you want to continue watching, have a look at the last build we did. I think it was that angled PC from Dark Flash, where it had so many angles, every angled, and this is like 0 angles, everything 90 degree, everything, yeah, square. But hey, this is DeepCool. DeepCool is always like square. But okay, thank you for watching, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.